Hi there, my name's Colette Kradin. I am a master designer here at store 1017 in Bellevue, Washington. Today, I am going to be doing a baby wash technique with a textured lob on my lovely client, Carly. This technique is going to be wonderful for summer because it's totally seamless. The grow out will be pretty much non-existent, and she will have that summer glow that everyone is lusting over. Carly is a natural level 7-8 with some previously lightened ends from a balayage we did about a year ago. So we have already pre-treated her with our Redken Extreme treatment. 3 pumps of that. We let it sit in her hair for 5 minutes, room temperature, and then we applied about 10 to 15 sprays. We landed at around 12 of the Fix Face 3.5, which is for chemically distressed hair. And then we put some of our Redken Extreme conditioner in her hair, rinsed her out, brought her back to the chair, blew dry her to 100%, now we're here. For this service, we will need about 30 foils, a metal foiling comb, 3 pairs of gloves, 5 towels, 1 color robe, 2 color capes, a mixing whisk, 1 wet brush, 2 color brushes, 2 color bowls, and 1 blur brush. Next, we will need 20 volume peroxide developer and 30 volume peroxide developer. We will also be needing Flash Lift lightening powder, Shades EQ 09G, 09NW, 09AA. We will also need the processing solution, the Shades EQ Clear, 1 color bottle, and pH bonder step 1 and 2. For our product wardrobe, we will be using 25 Benefits leave-in conditioner, Pillow Proof Express Blow Dry Primer, Align 12 Protective Smoothing Lotion, and Wax Blast to finish. Because I really want these pieces to be blonde, for all 3 zones I will need a bit more kick. So where I would usually use our incredible Blonde Idol freehand lightener, it's just not going to cut it today. So for a bit more power, I will be using 2 ounces of Flash Lift with 2 ounces of 20 volume and 8 milliliters of pH bonder. First, we're going to start by sectioning about a 4-inch mohawk on the top of her head. And that's going back to the high point of the head. Looks good. Then we are going to take a vertical parting down to each ear on the sides. And then in the back section, we are going from the high point of the head all the way down to the center of the nape in a vertical parting, 1 on the left and 1 on the right. For our foil, we will be using a micro stitch. If you can't see through it to read the newspaper, it's not thin enough. We will apply Formula 1 to all 3 zones using an intersecting diagonal foil placement. 1 will be diagonal forward, 1 will be diagonal back. We're going to go up both sides of the head, and then we are going to go to the front. Another reason I really love these intersecting diagonal foil placements is because we're covering so much more surface area than we would be if we were just doing a traditional horizontal up the side of the head foil, meaning we are covering more surface area, doing less foils, applying less things, and our guest is in the chair for a lesser amount of time, so everybody wins. We will remember to leave out any pre-lightened ends to avoid an overlap of lightener and chemical damage. The diagonal partings create movement and softness to ensure my girl Carly will be looking super fly into week 5 of her color. Now I'm still in the mohawk section, but I have moved around to the front of her head just to ensure that we have these pops of color right around her face. I really like to make sure my clients have that brightness right around their face, just in their facial framing area. It really helps to highlight the look, so everything is just a little bit more dimensional and summery. Now that all of our foils are in place, we are going to take 1-inch sections, random, totally fine, and we are going to balayage zones 2 and 3. Now I have my 30 volume mixed up. We have 2 ounces of 30 volume, 2 ounces of our Flash Lift powdered lightener, and 8 milliliters of our pH bonder step 1, and we are ready to balayage. Application is now complete. Now Carly will sit for about 20 minutes at room temperature, and I will keep checking her foils to make sure she's not over processing. All right, Carly is now pre-lightened to a level 10. We are ready to rinse. Now we are shampooing with our favorite Redken Extreme. Once we rinse this out, we will be toning her hair on towel dried hair. Since we are trying to enhance her strawberry blonde, we are going to tone her with 1 ounce of 9NW, 1 ounce of 9G, and 1 ounce of 9AA Shades EQ with 1 ounce of clear. We will then add 4 ounces of Shades EQ processing solution with an additional 8 milliliters of pH bonder step 1. I'm now applying Carly's toner. Once it has been fully saturated in her hair, we will wait for 20 minutes and she will sit room temperature. Alright, now that we have rinsed out her glaze, we will be towel drying her hair again. Before we shampoo an additional time, we will put in 30 milliliters of our pH bonder step 2. And that will sit at room temperature for 10 minutes. Now we are ready to rinse out pH bonder step 2. We will then shampoo again with Redken Extreme, and then we will condition with Redken Extreme. Now we are ready to cut. Before we start, I will be spraying our One United 25 Benefits leave-in conditioner as a cutting lotion. First, section off the perimeter by creating a rounded section starting at the parietal ridge to the high point of the head. I'm going to clip away the bottom section because we are not going to use it at this very moment. And then we are going to section this top into 4 quadrants, doing 1 vertical section back to the high point of the head and 1 from ear to ear in a horizontal section. For the perimeter, we will be beginning in the nape, and we will be cutting the hair blunt in natural fall using a horizontal finger position and a horizontal finger angle. We are going to work our way around the head. It is always important to remember to bevel your fingers under. If you can see the top of your bottom finger, you're going to create this ugly little flip situation that all of our clients hate, especially those who have this lob bob length. We are going to continue doing the same thing on the other side. We will begin in the left center of the back quadrant. We're going to split it in half vertically. And then we are going to take the hair and we're going to twist it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to blunt cut it, same length as everything else. After we do that, we're going to take the twist between our thumb and forefinger, and about 2 inches below the twist, we're going to start making teeny tiny snips in a brick-lay pattern in order to create texture and movement without really eliminating too much hair. So this is great for our gals with thick hair and who just really want that blunt look that everyone is obsessed with right now, or it's really wonderful for our gals with finer, thinner hair who just want to see a little bit more movement throughout their haircut but really don't want any layers. Once this section is complete, we are going to repeat the same thing on both sides of the head. So now that we have approached our front quadrant, the only thing that's different is we just really need to be very mindful that we are pulling everything away from the face. This way we are over directing, so we're not gonna get any short little awkward pieces right by her face, because that really isn't the point of this haircut. We don't want a lot of facial framing, we just want a little bit of texture and movement. Now we're just doing some detail work here. Any piece of hair that's out of place, any little strays, this is when you go around and just snip them off. Once it's dry, if there's any bulk that still needs to be removed, you can go in and do some shallow point cutting. For product, I will be using our Pillow Proof Blow Dry Express Primer. I love this stuff because it is super lightweight. You can use it in the finest of hair, and you don't have to use an additional heat protectant. This protects your hair up to 450 degrees, which is amazing. And then our Align Protective Smoothing Lotion, one of my very favorites. Carly has some texture to her hair. This is really just gonna help us get a smooth, sleek blowout. Now it's time to blow dry. Today, I will be using a paddle brush to flat wrap, using the shape of her head as my round. All right, now that Carly is all dry, we are going to take 1-inch sections, just give her a slight little bend to give her that beachy, elegantly disheveled look that these textured bobs generally pair well with. We're gonna just repeat this all the way around the head. I also like to take one section, curl forward, one section, curl back, just to create even more additional movement. And just so you don't get that same curl over and over and over again. Makes it a little more fun. Another tip for curling with a flat iron is always use even tension and rock the flat iron back and forth. Now this one, we don't really need to do that because the Bricado VibraStraight vibrates. So it's oscillating the hairs for us, but with a traditional flat iron, we don't really have that luxury. So just rock that flat iron. Now that we are all curled, the final step is to take our Wax Blast, my favorite finishing product. We're just gonna spray this about 10 inches away from her hair. Then we are gonna go back through and just zhuzh. We're gonna zhuzh, add some movement, texture, tousled, sexy, beach ready, and just like that, Carly is ready for summer. Thanks for watching.